Wasbir, big development. The ENPO, as we know, is on a massive reach-out plan, and the Nagaland Chief Minister is in Delhi. In the meantime, for key meets with central leaders on the issue, Wasbir.
Yes, that is the big breaking story at this point. Yes, the Nagaland Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio and his cabinet colleagues are already in New Delhi to discuss the ENPO issue with the Government of India. It is likely that Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio and his delegation is expected to meet Union Home Minister Amit Shah. They are also expected to seek an appointment with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and of course they are going to likely to discuss with the interlocutor A.K. Mishra and other officials of the Union Home Ministry. Now this is something which is at an advanced stage because the central government had already come up with a proposal on a possible resolution to the long-standing ENPO demand. The ENPO began its demand in 2010. That was the time when they first submitted a memorandum seeking a frontier Nagaland state comprising 6 districts. Now the point is after the central government gave a proposal that indicated the establishment of a frontier Naga territory, then that would have 40 elected members and 9 nominated members, and the central government also thought that they will bring 45 departments under this new administrative structure, and it will also have financial, political and legislative financial, administrative and legislative powers will be vested on this new administrative structure. That was the proposal. Now following this proposal, the Nagaland government that received this proposal and was supposed to have given the central government its comments, they called a consultative meeting. They invited the legislators and the other elected representatives from the 6 eastern districts. They have also invited leaders of 6 tribal bodies. Then the meeting was fixed for 30th of June, and suddenly the Nagaland government decided to postpone this consultative meeting, and sources told Notice Live that they are going to basically need some more time to discuss the issue. Obviously it was clear from that action by the Nagaland government of postponing the consultative meet that they were not fully happy with the proposal given by the central government, or they wanted certain modifications. So in this backdrop, the Chief Minister going to Delhi and trying to meet central leaders makes it very clear that they're going to have one final round of discussion to either modify some of the clauses in the draft agreement, ENPO agreement, and then only they will come back and perhaps give their comments to the central government. On its part, the ENPO is meeting Eastern Semas tomorrow at Dimapur to reconcile their differences. This meeting between the ENPO and the Semas from the eastern region, Sumis rather, are going to reconcile their differences. So our correspondent 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗏𝗧𝗏 is standing by in Kohima. We will talk to her about the differences. In the meantime, the ENPO is having meetings, is lined up meetings with all Naga armed groups to allay their apprehensions on the ENPO agreement. There is a feeling that the Naga armed groups were thinking, were concerned about their status if at all the agreement takes place with the ENPO and the Government of India. Now the third point is that the ENPO is also reaching out to the 20 elected representatives from these 6 districts for their support. There are 20 MLAs, 1/3 of the MLAs in the 60-member Nagaland Assembly belongs to the ENPO dominated areas, that is the eastern Nagaland areas. And of course the final point which our sources are telling us at this point is that the next round of talks with the ENPO and the interlocutor along with officials of the Union Home Ministry are going to take place soon. Now this is the breaking story that Notice Live first brought to you, viewers. This is the exclusive news break on Notice Live. We broke the story more than an hour ago actually, and now let me go to our correspondent 𝗟𝗓𝗙𝗏𝗧𝗏 who is standing by at Kohima. Sarah, you are aware of the central government's proposal on the ENPO delegation, you are aware of the central government's proposal on the ENPO issue for a solution, and that they were asking for the Nagaland government to comment on it, following which the Nagaland government held that consultative meeting that never happened. Now how do you see all these developments taking place, the Chief Minister and his cabinet colleagues in New Delhi now?
Yes, Wasbir. As we all know that the consultative meeting, which was scheduled on the 30th of June, got postponed. Sources have informed to the channel that it is because of certain directives from the central leaders not to hold any consultative meeting, which may further create problems or misunderstanding between the ENPO and the other tribal bodies from the other tribes. Well, following this, the Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio and Deputy CM had rushed march to Delhi. We have just confirmed that Deputy Chief Minister Mr. 𝗡𝗢𝗥𝗧𝗛𝗏 has also left for Delhi this morning, this afternoon. And sources have also informed us that the 3 cabinet ministers from the Eastern Nagaland will also be present with the Rio team there in Delhi. They are there. They will be there. The meeting with the Union Home Minister and other central concerned leaders have not been scheduled yet. However, they will be meeting the Union Home Minister, where the 3 Eastern cabinet ministers will also be present along with the delegations. Sources have informed us that the entire cabinet is likely to be there with the Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio, but we are yet to confirm how many have left for Delhi and how many are yet to leave.
Right.
So, looking at all the developments, we have seen that there has been apprehensions from various quarters with regard to the proposal from the Ministry of Home Affairs to the ENPO, which is likely to be called the Frontier Naga Territory. And there has been apprehensions have also been shown by several quarters of people. They are having the image that these negotiation, if the negotiations are signed,
right,
if the final pact is signed, then this may create a hurdle, or this may become a roadblock.
No, 𝗟𝗏𝗧𝗏, ENPO is, they're saying that ENPO is meeting the Eastern Semas tomorrow at Dimapur to reconcile their differences. Now, can you tell us a little bit about what could be the differences between the ENPO and the Semas from the Eastern region, or the Sumis for that matter?
Well, speaking to certain people, we have come to know that the ENPO and the Eastern Sumi, they do not have any differences as such. The Eastern Sumi has been staying in 𝗡𝗢𝗏𝗘 district, under 𝗡𝗢𝗏𝗘 district for many decades now. And what we have come to know is that sources are saying that the differences is not between the Eastern Sumi and the ENPO, but it is purely with regard to the ownership of land between the Eastern Sumi and the Sangtam people, who also stays in 𝗡𝗢𝗏𝗘 district. So, as per our information, a committee was also formed last year to resolve the issue between the United Sangtams Union, the tribal body of the Sangtam, and the Eastern Sumi. A committee was also formed, and the last meeting that they had was this year in the month of January. Precisely 7th of January 2023. That was the last meeting which they had. However, there were certain communication gaps between the two parties, and the committee was dissolved, and henceforth the issue was given to the ENPO to look into it and also to resolve. Well, as we all know, the Eastern Sumi recently, just few days back, they had staged a peaceful rally, and where they had also submitted a memorandum to the Chief Minister, clearly reiterating their stand that they would want to merge with the Zonoboto, which is dominated by the Sumi people. So this is how it is. Let's hope tomorrow the Eastern Sumi will also be sharing their views, and the ENPO will also be sharing their views, and hopefully the issue between the two parties is amicably resolved.
Right. Now, one more question to you, 𝗟𝗏𝗧𝗏. When the ENPO has lined up meetings with all Naga armed groups to remove their fears and apprehensions, now, what are the fears and apprehensions generally of the Naga armed groups about the ENPO solution?
Well, Wasbir, as per information from our sources, it is learned that while the ENPO was demanding for a separate statehood, that is the Frontier Nagaland, there were certain points in the draft proposal which also concerns to the national workers of the Naga peace talks. There were certain points which had mentioned about provision for a frontier Naga regiment, which would consist of the armed cadres of the Eastern armed cadres, if at all a statehood. However, sources have confirmed to us that all these points have been removed, since the question of statehood does not arise now, as the central government have already expressed their mind that this is not possible, and they have come to a certain arrangement now. So, well, they have affirmed to us that the ongoing pact which is going to take place between the government of India and the ENPO will not have any effect to the armed groups or on the ongoing Naga peace talks, Wasbir.
Absolutely. Sarah Konyak there, our correspondent in Kohima. Thank you very much for joining this broadcast. Overall, this is a big breaking story. This is the big development as far as Nagaland is concerned. Fast-paced developments towards a resolution, possible resolution of the ENPO issue that has been gaining momentum over the last few years. It started in 2010 when the ENPO gave its first memorandum saying that they need a separate state called Frontier Nagaland, because and they have over the years accused the Nagaland government of meting out a stepmotherly treatment, and that they are saying that there has been lack of development in the 6 ENPO districts on this, despite the presence of 20 MLAs in the 60-member Nagaland Assembly. And now, after 13 years, the union government has come up with a draft proposal that was to have been discussed and given the nod of approval by the Nagaland government. That has not happened so far. The Nagaland government had called that consultative meeting on the 30th of June that was postponed because the Nagaland government said that they need further discussions on the matter. And now the big story that we have just broken is that the Nagaland chief minister, the deputy chief ministers and 3 cabinet ministers belonging to the eastern districts are already in New Delhi to discuss with the government of India, possibly Union Home Minister Amit Shah, interlocutor A.K. Mishra, and they are also likely to seek an appointment with Prime Minister Narendra Modi to give a final shape, and there could be some modifications as far as the proposal that was drafted by the union government is concerned. ENPO in the meantime is talking to the eastern Sumis who have issues over land. They want certain clarifications that may be resolved in the Dimapur meeting tomorrow, and the ENPO is also meeting with the Naga underground groups, the armed groups which are currently of course on a ceasefire. They are going to talk about their apprehensions. They had the Naga armed groups have some apprehensions about what happens when the ENPO solution comes about. That is also going to be discussed during this series of meetings, and the ENPO is finally reaching out to the elected representatives from the 6 districts, that is the 20 MLAs that represents the eastern Nagas. And of course, finally, the big breaking point is that the next round of talks between the ENPO and the interlocutor A.K. Mishra, accompanied by Home Ministry officials and perhaps the Intelligence Bureau as well, are going to be held soon.